Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going deep into the world of the sous chef.
Yeah, we're going to look at what it takes to really thrive in that role.
I'm honestly feeling a little intimidated already.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sous chef, and I picture someone who can make a gourmet meal, like with one hand,
Right.
while also managing like a whole team of cooks.
Yeah. And putting out all those kitchen fires.
Yeah, exactly.
Both metaphorical and sometimes real ones, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, the good thing is we have this really unique set of interview questions and answers
Okay.
that were specifically designed to prepare someone for a sous chef interview.
Oh, that's cool. So it's like we're getting the inside scoop.
Yeah, it's like insider tips straight from the source.
Okay, so let's unpack this a little bit. I guess when I think about the role of the sous chef, I think a lot about the creative parts of it.
Right.
Like coming up with new dishes and experimenting with flavors.
Yeah, there's definitely an element of that, but it's not always as glamorous as it sounds.
Right.
A sous chef's creative energy often needs to be channeled into adapting existing recipes.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when you're dealing with ingredient shortages or those last-minute menu changes.
So they need to be resourceful, I guess.
Absolutely. And our sources actually highlight a great example of this,
Okay.
where a sous chef had to completely revamp a pasta dish because a key ingredient didn't arrive.
Oh, no.
Yeah, the organic tomatoes didn't make it.
Oh, wow.
So you have to think on your feet, adapt the menu, keep those customers happy. That's the life of a sous chef.
Yeah, that sounds pretty stressful.
It's a demanding role. It requires a really unique blend of creativity, leadership, and operational know-how.
Yeah, it's not just about being a great cook. It's about being like the backbone of the entire kitchen.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay, so more than a little intimidating.
A little bit, right?
So I guess that's where the crisis management part comes in.
Yeah, think about it this way. You're in the middle of a busy dinner service. The kitchen's buzzing.
Uh-huh.
Orders are flying in, and suddenly the head chef is out sick. Oh, no.
So the sous chef needs to step up, lead the team,
Wow.
make sure everything runs smoothly, no room for panic.
I can't even imagine. I can barely make toast without setting off my smoke detector.
Well, luckily we're just diving into the information here. We're not actually having to execute it.
Right, that's true.
But speaking of execution, let's talk about consistency.
Okay.
The sous chef plays a vital role in ensuring that every dish that leaves the kitchen meets the restaurant standards.
Right, because I know, like, as a diner, when I go to my favorite restaurant,
Yeah.
I want my favorite dish to taste the same every time I order it.
Exactly, and maintaining that level of consistency takes work. Yeah. It's not just about having a talented team of cooks.
Right.
The sous chef needs to establish clear guidelines, implement standardized recipes, and conduct regular training sessions.
So they need to have a really keen eye for detail, I imagine.
Absolutely.
Like, notice if the plating's a little off or the sauce is a shade too dark or something.
You're like a conductor making sure all the instruments are playing in harmony.
Oh, I like that. They're constantly monitoring the kitchen floor, offering guidance, and ensuring that everything is up to par.
So they're kind of like a leader, a mentor, and a quality control expert all rolled into one.
Pretty much. But there's more we can't forget about inventory and cost control.
Okay.
This is where things get a little less glamorous, but it's a critical part of a sous chef's job.
Right, I bet.
We're talking about things like implementing FIFO.
FIFO.
Yeah,
Now that's some jargon I haven't heard.
You're right. FIFO, it stands for first in, first out,
Okay.
for ingredient rotation.
Okay.
So it's a really simple but effective method of stock rotation where you use the oldest ingredients first to prevent spoilage and waste.
Oh, that makes sense.
Think of it like organizing your fridge, but on a much larger scale.
Yeah, okay, so the sous chef is kind of responsible for making sure the restaurant is running efficiently and profitably.
Exactly.
They're like the unsung heroes of the culinary world.
They really are, and their responsibilities go beyond just what happens behind the kitchen line. Believe it or not, the sous chef also plays a role in customer service.
Really, I always think of that as being like the front of house staff,
Right.
not the people back in the kitchen.
Think about it this way. The sous chef is in charge of making sure the food meets the customer's expectations.
Right.
They need to communicate clearly with the servers about
Okay.
things like dietary restrictions, special requests, and any potential issues that might arise.
So it's all about making sure that the diner has a good experience, I guess.
Exactly. And that often means working seamlessly with the front of house staff and mediating any conflicts that might arise.
Yeah, I can see how that would take some serious diplomacy skills.
Yeah.
Because kitchens are known to be a little high pressure.
They are. It's true. It can get a little heated back there.
Yeah.
But a good sous chef can create a positive and productive work environment even amidst the chaos.
Okay.
They know how to find common ground, encourage open communication, and make sure everyone feels respected and valued.
So we've talked about like the creative flair, crisis management, consistency, and diplomacy.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that a sous chef needs in their toolkit?
There's one more crucial aspect, and it's becoming increasingly important. Sustainability.
Oh yeah, sustainability. It's such a hot topic these days.
It is, and it makes sense that it would extend to the culinary world as well.
Yeah, totally.
hmm
So what does that look like in practice?
Well, diners are more conscious than ever about where their food comes from and the impact it has on the environment.
Right.
And the sous chef plays a key role in implementing sustainable practices in the kitchen.
So is it all about like sourcing local ingredients and composting?
That's definitely part of it, but it goes beyond that.
Okay.
The sous chef might be responsible for developing strategies to minimize food waste,
Uh-huh.
like using vegetable scraps to make stocks or incorporating leftover proteins into staff meals.
Oh wow, that's a good idea.
It's about being resourceful and creative, turning potential waste into something delicious and valuable.
It seems like being a sous chef is all about wearing multiple hats and constantly adapting to new challenges.
It is.
They really are the backbone of any successful restaurant.
You got it. And there's still so much more to explore.
Okay.
So next, we'll delve into the specific skills and knowledge that are essential for success in this really demanding but rewarding role.
Buckle up, everyone. We're
Yes.
just getting started. Okay. I am now officially convinced that sous chefs are like culinary superheroes.
Right.
They're creative, they're resourceful, they can handle anything you throw at them.
Yeah,
But let's get down to like the actual skills.
right.
What are the things that a sous chef needs to know?
Well, it's not just about being a jack of all trades, right?
Right.
There's a depth of knowledge required, too.
Okay.
So, for example, let's dive a bit deeper into inventory management.
Okay.
We talked about FIFO, which is a good starting point.
Yeah.
But a truly skilled sous chef
Well,
is going to go beyond just rotating stock.
okay, so what else would they do? Like imagine I'm going into a sous chef interview. What would really impress the hiring manager?
Well, let's say you walk into that interview
Yep.
and you can discuss different inventory systems,
Okay.
maybe even specific software programs you've used
All right.
to track inventory, analyze usage patterns, and minimize waste.
Wow.
Now that shows you're thinking strategically about cost control and efficiency.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's about going beyond the basics and showing that you understand like the business side of things.
Exactly. And it's not just about reciting facts and figures.
Right.
It's about connecting those skills to the restaurant's overall success.
Okay.
So you could say something like, in my previous role, I implemented a new inventory system that reduced food waste by 15%, saving the restaurant thousands of dollars annually.
Wow. Yeah, that would definitely get their attention.
Right.
So inventory management is a huge one. What else is on the list?
Well, remember how we talked about the sous chef being involved in menu planning?
Right.
That's another area where you can really shine in an interview.
Okay, but it's not just about, like sharing your grandma's secret recipe or
Oh,
whatever.
no, it's about showcasing your understanding of flavor profiles, current culinary trends, and dietary considerations.
Right.
So you could talk about your process for developing new dishes, how you incorporate seasonal ingredients, or maybe share a time when you adapted a recipe to cater to a specific dietary need.
Yeah, I love that. Weave in some real-world examples.
Exactly.
What about teamwork and leadership skills?
Oh, those are crucial.
Yeah, you got to have those in a fast-paced kitchen environment.
Absolutely. A sous chef needs to be able to lead and inspire a team of cooks, delegate tasks effectively, and maintain a positive and productive work environment.
So what kind of interview questions might they ask about that?
Well, you might get asked about your experience training and mentoring junior staff members,
Okay.
or how you handle conflict within the kitchen.
Yeah, I bet.
So think about specific situations you've encountered and how you resolved them. Maybe you had to mediate a disagreement between two line cooks, or coach a new hire who was struggling to keep up during a busy service.
Yeah, so it's all about showing that you can stay calm under pressure and lead by example.
Precisely. And don't forget about the importance of continuous learning.
Oh, right, of course.
The culinary world is constantly evolving.
Yeah.
So a good sous chef needs to stay on top of new trends and techniques.
But how do they find the time for that with everything else they're doing?
Well, it might involve attending workshops and conferences, subscribing to industry publications, or even just following influential chefs on social media.
Okay.
It's about making a conscious effort to stay informed and inspired.
So just like any other profession, you have to keep your skills sharp
Yeah,
and your knowledge up to date.
you got it. But it's not just about learning new techniques.
Okay.
It's also about being able to apply that knowledge in a practical setting.
Right.
Maybe you discovered a new way to utilize a certain ingredient or learned a time-saving technique that you can share with your team.
Now that we're talking about applying knowledge, it makes me think about something.
Yeah.
Our sources have talked a lot about the technical skills.
Right.
But what about personality traits?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Like, what kind of person really thrives in this kind of role?
Well, honestly, that's just as important as the technical skills.
Okay.
A sous chef needs to be resilient, able to bounce back from setbacks and handle the inevitable curveballs that come their way.
Right, because kitchens can be pretty high pressure.
They are.
Like tight deadlines, demanding customers.
Exactly.
Sometimes even, hot tempers.
Right. So you need someone who can stay cool under pressure, remain positive, and keep the team motivated.
So a sense of humor probably helps too.
Absolutely. A good laugh can go a long way in diffusing a tense situation.
Yeah.
Plus, it helps to create a more enjoyable and collaborative work environment.
This is making me realize how much more there is to this job
Yeah.
than I initially thought. It's not just about cooking.
No.
It's about leadership, problem solving, creating a good working environment.
You're getting it. And there's another trait that often separates the good sous chefs from the great ones.
Okay, what's that?
A genuine passion for food.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's hard to imagine someone excelling in this kind of role if they weren't truly passionate about what they do.
Right.
That passion is what fuels their creativity, their drive to learn, and their dedication to delivering an exceptional dining experience.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
We talked about inventory management, menu planning, leadership, teamwork, continuous learning, and all those important personality traits.
It's a lot.
It is a lot. So what stands out to you as like the most important takeaway from all of this?
Well, what's really fascinating to me is how the sous chef role really sits at the intersection of so many different aspects of the restaurant business.
Right.
It's not just about being a great cook, although that's obviously essential.
Right. It's about being able to see the big picture,
Exactly.
understanding how all the pieces fit together to create like a successful business.
Exactly. It's about leading a team, managing resources, ensuring quality, and constantly innovating.
Right.
It's a demanding role, but also incredibly rewarding.
Yeah.
You get to be at the heart of the culinary action, creating delicious food, mentoring a team, and contributing to the success of a restaurant.
I'm so glad we did this deep dive.
Yeah.
It's really opened my eyes to all this stuff.
Me too.
But I have to ask, if you were giving advice to someone
Yeah.
who's just starting out and dreams of one day becoming a sous chef, what would you tell them?
I think the key is to be a sponge.
A sponge.
Absorb everything you can learn from experienced chefs, experiment with different cuisines, and don't be afraid to take on new challenges.
Right.
The more well-rounded you are, the better equipped you'll be to handle the demands of this exciting and rewarding role.
That's fantastic advice.
Yeah.
And it's a great segue into the final part of our deep dive,
Oh, yeah.
where we'll put all this to the test
Right.
with some real-world scenarios.
Yeah, buckle up. It's about to get even more interesting.
Okay, so are you ready to put all these sous chef skills to the test
I think so,
with some real-world scenarios?
Let's do it.
Because I have to admit, I'm feeling a little pressure myself.
I hear ya. But that's the beauty of this. We can explore these challenging situations without actually having to face the heat of the kitchen, right?
Exactly.
All right, so let's dive in.
That's it.
Imagine this. You're the sous chef, and in the middle of prepping for a busy Friday night service,
Okay.
you get a call from your supplier.
Oh.
The delivery truck carrying your order of organic tomatoes has broken down.
Oh, no.
These tomatoes are essential for tonight's special pasta dish.
Oh, wow.
What's your first move?
Okay, so first I'd take a deep breath
Right?
and try to think like a sous chef.
Okay.
I would check how many tomatoes we have on hand.
Right.
Can we, like, maybe stretch them somehow?
Okay.
Adjust the recipe a little bit?
Right.
Or are we talking about a complete tomato shortage?
Good instincts. Let's say you've checked and you're totally out of tomatoes. And remember, those dinner reservations are starting to roll in.
Oh, boy.
What's plan B?
Okay, so this is where the creative problem-solving skills come in.
Yes.
I would have to think of some alternative dishes really quickly,
Right.
using the ingredients that we have.
Okay.
So maybe we feature a different pasta dish, or even switch gears entirely and do a risotto special or something.
I like how you're thinking. You're demonstrating flexibility
Okay.
and menu adaptability, two essential traits for a sous chef.
Right.
And remember, clear communication is key.
Of course.
You need to let the front of house staff know about the menu change.
Yeah.
Make sure they can confidently explain the situation to the customers.
Right. You don't want the server to be caught off guard when someone tries to order that tomato pasta.
Exactly.
Okay, so we avoided the tomato crisis, but now here comes another challenge.
Oh, no.
It's the middle of dinner service.
Okay.
The kitchen is in full swing.
Uh-huh.
And suddenly, two of your line cooks get into a huge argument. It's loud, it's disruptive, and it's starting to affect the orders.
So what do you do?
This is a test of my leadership and conflict resolution skills.
Yeah, it is. A divided kitchen can't deliver a cohesive dining experience, right?
Exactly. So I need to act quickly. I would separate the cooks immediately,
Okay.
take them aside individually,
Right.
and just hear them out, let them vent a little bit
Okay.
so they feel heard.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I would make it very clear that their behavior is not acceptable.
Calm, collected, and assertive. What's your next step?
So once things have calmed down a little,
Mm-hmm.
I'd bring the cooks back together
Okay.
for a mediated conversation
All right.
and encourage them to find common ground.
Good.
Remind them that teamwork is essential
Right.
for a successful service.
Yes. And it's always a good idea to emphasize that team goal.
Right.
And remember, it's also important to address the root cause of the conflict.
It's true.
So was it a miscommunication,
Right.
a personality clash? Identifying that underlying issue can really help prevent similar situations from happening in the future.
Okay, so one final challenge.
Okay.
And this one's a biggie.
Oh,
The head chef is on vacation,
okay.
leaving you in charge of the whole kitchen operation.
All right.
And you've been looking at the numbers, and you notice that food waste has been steadily increasing over the past few weeks.
What do you do?
This is my chance to show off my sustainability knowledge.
Yeah, and your ability to think strategically about cost control.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I would look closely at our practices.
Okay.
Are we over-ordering ingredients?
Right.
Are we storing the food properly?
Oh, yeah.
Are the portions being measured correctly?
You've got to identify the root cause of the problem before you can implement solutions.
Exactly. It's like detective work.
Yeah.
I have to gather all the clues
Yes.
and then solve the mystery.
Love it.
So once I figured out the problem areas,
Yeah.
I would start implementing strategies to minimize that waste.
Okay.
So maybe start using vegetable scraps to make stocks, or use leftover proteins in the staff meals.
Right.
We could also train the staff on proper portioning techniques
Okay.
and the importance of FIFO.
Excellent. You're demonstrating initiative, resourcefulness, and commitment to sustainability.
Okay.
All hallmarks of a top-notch sous chef.
Wow, after running through those scenarios,
Yeah.
I am so much more aware of what sous chefs do.
Right.
They really are the unsung heroes
They are.
of the culinary world.
Absolutely.
They're constantly juggling so many different things and solving problems on the fly
Yeah.
and making sure that everything runs smoothly.
It's a tough job.
It is, but they do it all while remaining calm and creative and passionate about food.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And what's really exciting is that there's always more to learn and discover in this field.
That's true.
Whether you're a seasoned culinary pro or just starting to explore the world of food, there are endless opportunities for growth and innovation.
Well, that's a great point. So to wrap up our deep dive into the world of the sous chef, we want to leave you with one final thought-provoking question. If you were a sous chef, what new system or procedure would you implement in the kitchen?
Ooh, that's good.
Maybe to improve efficiency, reduce waste, or even just enhance the dining experience. Let us know your ideas.
Yeah, share your thoughts with us.
Maybe you have a brilliant inventory management hack, or a creative way to use food scraps, or a strategy for building an amazing team of cooks.
We want to share it all.
Thanks for joining us on this delicious deep dive.
It was fun.
Until next time, happy cooking.